As a wealth advisor, I talk to doctors all the time who are doing a lot of things right, contributing to their 401k, paying down loans, carrying the right insurance, but they can't tell me how it all fits together, and neither can their accounts. That's not a wealth plan. That's a collection of smart tactics. A coordinated plan doesn't just help you do more, it helps every decision you make work harder because it's connected to everything else. A financial plan is a blueprint. It answers 3 questions. Where are you today? Where do you want to go? And what is the most efficient path to get there? It integrates investing, tax strategy, insurance, debt management, retirement planning, estate planning, and eventually transition planning. It's not a static document. It should evolve as your income grows, your responsibilities shift, and your goals change. Without a plan, decisions are reactive, where you respond to what's in front of you instead of 2 steps ahead. With a plan, decisions compound. Each one builds toward a clearly defined objective. Before optimization comes stability. First, you want to build an emergency fund. Liquidity is optionality. It prevents you from making forced decisions during volatile markets or unexpected life events. Next is debt strategy. Student loans, mortgage and business debt, each serve different functions. The goal is not always elimination, it's balance. Next in stability comes strategic leverage, which can sometimes improve long-term outcomes. But the decision should be deliberate, not a default. I've seen doctors skip this step and jump straight into investing, and then have to sell investments at the wrong time because they didn't have a cash buffer. Stability is not a boring concept. It's what makes the rest of the plan work. Investment success is driven by structure, not market timing or picking winners. You know what actually moves outcomes over time? Strategic asset allocation, aligned to your timeline and goals, broad diversification across asset classes, cost efficiency, fees compound just like returns, and lastly, behavioral discipline during volatility. The biggest wealth destroyer I see isn't a bad investment, it's a reactive decision made during a bad market. Investments should be tied to goals, not headlines. A fiduciary advisor is legally obligated to act in your best interest. That matters when advice is being shaped by what you need, not what generates a commission. Tax strategy is a multiplier. Tax-efficient investing, executed effectively, spreads your assets across taxable, tax-deferred, and tax-free accounts. This is called tax diversification. It creates flexibility to manage withdrawals and reduce dependence on any single future tax rate. Asset location is based on the fact that some assets generate more taxable income than others. Therefore, where you hold certain investments matter. Tax loss harvesting is a concept where you realize losses intentionally to offset gains. When done systematically, it adds measurable value over time. Beyond investing, there's backdoor Roth IRAs for high earners, there's charitable bunching through donor advised funds, and tax bracket management. Tax planning isn't about finding loopholes, it's about reducing unnecessary drag and keeping more of what the portfolio earns legally, intentionally, and over a long time horizon. Your plan evolves with your career. Early in your career, build foundation, have disciplined savings, debt management, diversified investment habits, and protections in place. Mid-career, optimize the structure, increase investment savings, evaluate ownership opportunities, refine long-term projections. Later in your career, shift the focus. Income sequencing, tax efficiency withdrawals, transition planning, and estate coordination should be top of mind to keep what you've worked so hard for. Remember, the plan you need at 32 is not the plan you need at 48. And the most effective physicians I work with aren't the ones who picked the right investments early, they're the ones who kept updating the plan as they grew. Time is the most powerful variable in wealth creation. Compound interest accelerates as gains build on prior gains. And starting early doesn't require a large contribution. It requires consistency. I worked with a physician in her early attending years. She was maximizing her 401k, carrying the right insurance, and managing her loans responsibly. By most measures, she was doing well. But when we built an actual plan, we found that her investment accounts weren't tax diversified. Nearly everything was in pre-tax accounts. What was left was some cash in her savings account. High earners are often told to defer as much as possible, but if all your money is in the 59.5 plus bucket, you can run into limitations, especially when opportunities or unexpected needs come up. So we structured things, we invested her excess cash, and implemented a recurring monthly savings plan into her investment account, creating an accessible investment bucket alongside her retirement accounts. Now, she has flexibility, different pools of money for different stages of life. That's what tax diversification really does. It gives you options. Comprehensive wealth planning works because it's coordinated. Investing affects taxes, tax strategy affects cash flow and long-term projections. Protection and estate planning shape what you keep and how you eventually transition. The goal isn't more tactics, it's one integrated system that compounds towards your goals as your career and life evolve. If you're ready to move from a collection of smart decisions to a real plan, connect with an earned advisor. We'll help you build a blueprint that actually fits where you are and where you're going.